Our system today is wrapped in extraordinary complexity, but beneath it all, financial systems serve an essential and basic function. Institutions and markets transform the earnings and savings of American workers into the loans that finance a first home, a new car, a college education, or a growing business. They exist to allocate savings and investment to their most productive uses. Our financial system still does this better than any financial system in the world, but still our system failed in basic fundamental ways. Compensation practices rewarded short-term profits over long-term return. Pervasive failures in consumer protection left many Americans with obligations they did not understand and could not sustain. The huge apparent returns to financial activity attracted fraud on a dramatic scale. Market discipline failed to constrain dangerous levels of risk-taking throughout the system. New financial products were created to meet demand from investors, but the complexity outmatched the risk management capabilities of even the most sophisticated institutions in the world. Financial activity migrated outside the banking system, relying on the assumption that liquidity would always be available. Regulated institutions held too little capital relative to their exposure to risk. Supervision and regulation failed to prevent these problems. There were failures where regulation was extensive and failures where it was weak and absent. Now, while supervision and regulation failed to constrain the buildup of leverage and risk, the U.S. came into this crisis without adequate tools to manage it effectively. And as I discussed before this committee on Tuesday, U.S. law left regulators without good options for managing the failure of systemically important, large, complex financial institutions. To address this will require comprehensive reform, not modest repairs at the margin, but new rules of the game. And the new rules must be simpler and more effectively enforced. They must produce a more stable system, one that protects consumers and investors, rewards innovation, and is able to adapt and evolve with changes in the structure of our financial system.